You have many DLCs at your disposal in Prison Architects. You've got Future Tech, Island Bound, Second Chances. But what about Fit for Transfer? How does it work? What's the benefits? I'm here to show you how and why this DLC can influence your prisoners for the better and get them on the good side of rehabilitation. So first things first, what is Fit for Transfer? Fit for Transfer is a DLC that offers you the option to reward prisoners for good behaviour and meeting targets that you've set in return for downgrading to a lower security level and hopefully a better setup than what they've already got. But to do this and get it right, you're going to need to do a few things first. 1. You're going to need the security levels separated from Supermax all the way down to the minimum, like this setup right here. I've got a cell block for each individual security level, going from your bare basic Supermax wing through maximum and medium until reaching the end goal of the prestigious minimum security wing. Now this can be done through the deployment tab and assigning rooms or spaces to a specific security level. 2. There has to be improvement. Now, what I mean by that is that the wings themselves have to be a better grade than the last. Otherwise, what is the point of these guys even trying if they aren't going to get anything for it? This ranges from cells themselves, the canteen quality, common room, yard, and so on. With a slightly better standard of rooms in each of these wings will create a need or a demand or a response to the possibility of missing out on a better setup for themselves. You can review this in the Logistics tab and selecting the option to review a room's grade to see what items in a room and what will bring more or less value to it. With this in mind, you're going to want Supermax to be at the low end of this rating and minimum on the high end or the absolute max. You can expand this further by also selecting the security level within the Logistics tab. This will give you much more information to what else is needed to further increase or decrease the overall standard of what this particular security level has access to and how good or bad these guys actually have it at the moment. And finally, 3. You need to set the goals that these misfits need to achieve in order for these guys to be eligible to move to a better security level. You'll now have an option called Transfers in the main menu that opens up the option to set your targets, which you can be as lenient or unforgiving as you like. They might have to complete a high number of programs or had no incidents for a large amount of time before they would even be considered for a downgrade. But that's up to you. Once these 3 steps have been set up and completed, you're ready to start shifting eligible prisoners to better suited security levels once they've met your demands. Expectations. On the Prisoners tab, you can now see all the prisoners in their respective security level and also a split between your general population, those who are actually interested in moving, and those who are actually eligible to move. You don't have to do anything with the normal or the interested prisoners as they're not ready, but with those who have met your expectations, you can now hover over the prisoner and authorize the move. Click OK, and that prisoner will now be moved to their new security wing. In this build, I've also made it so prisoners cannot even begin to think of parole until they reach minimum security option. Why? Because this means that they are probably the least likely to reoffend and also at least likely to slap you with a massive bill for reoffending, which is one benefit, and a huge one at that for all those money-grabbing wardens. But even more so, this method allows you to convert even your most problematic prisoners into docile little grafters, which overall is a win-win. They get the chance of freedom, and you get paid for all their hard work and new lease on life. Totally balanced, right? I'll let you decide.